Hello, beautiful people of God. Welcome to Daily Oil Devotional Family. Thank you so much for being part of this family. We say God bless you all. In today's devotion, I want to review to you 4 signs that shows you are spiritual stagnant. I want you to be intentional in this season of time, not to play with your spiritual life, because spiritual life controls your physical, emotional, and your financial life. You must be intentional on your spiritual life. But before we go into this, I want to encourage you to grab yourself a copy of our new book, Prayer Works. In this book is power packed. It's a lot of things we discussed in this book. Maybe you have questions about prayers, or you think that your prayer has not been answered, or you think you don't know how to pray. All those things are detailed in this book. So I want to encourage you to bless your soul, bless people around you with this book. So let's move on. What are the first signs that you are spiritual stagnant, or you are backsliding, or your spiritual life is getting cold? First one is when you don't want to pray. When you wake up, you don't feel like to pray. You want to sleep, you don't feel like to pray. You are walking throughout the whole day, you don't feel like to pray. The Bible says, as the dead pant for water, so my soul pants for you. When your soul is no more panting to pray, to communicate to God. Just imagine your daughter, your son, your spouse, your roommate, your countrymates just wake up and he or she don't feel like to talk to you. She's no more hunger to talk to you. She's no more having that desire to talk to you, which simply means there is a problem. And that is a sign of spiritual stagnant. When you don't have that urge, the hunger, the desire to communicate with God in heaven, that is a sign that you are backsliding, spiritual stagnant. So I want you to pay attention for that. Anytime you see that you are no more hunger to pray, wake yourself up. You don't need to pray even when you feel like to pray. The Bible said in 1 Thessalonians 5:16 that we should pray without ceasing. Make prayer your life. Make prayer a garment that you wear often. Don't allow anything to tamper with your prayer life. Number 2, when you don't want to read the Word of God. You just wake up, you just want to do your own thing. You scroll through social media, you scroll your phone, you do everything. You reply emails, reply all the messages and comments, but you never take time to read the Word of God. That is second sign that you are spiritual stagnant, or you are spiritual backsliding, or you are getting cold into your spiritual life. The Word of God is loaded. I love what the Bible said in the book of 2 Timothy 3:16-17. And honestly, that Bible verse is like my daily Bible verse. It's well loaded. He said, for the whole Bible was given to us by inspiration from God and is useful to teach us what is true and to make us realize what is wrong in our lives. It strengthens us out and help us to do what is right. It's God's way of making us well prepared at every point, fully equipped, and to do good every time. The Word of God is loaded. Whenever you see that you are no more hunger to read the Word of God, you are no more hunger to listen to the Word of God, but you are hungry to watch the things that is going on in social media, but you don't have time again for the Word of God, that is a second sign that you are backsliding, that you are spiritual stagnant, that your spiritual life is getting cold. So you have to pay attention. Don't joke with it. You have to read the Word of God at least one time every day. I didn't say one time every week or one time every year. Most people, when they get their scriptures, their Bible, they just dust it. It's not supposed to be so. You have to be hunger in reading the Word of God. The third sign that your spiritual life is getting cold is fasting. When you don't want to fast anymore. Some people have eaten away their destiny because they don't want to fast. We see fasting as something that drain us, something that something that cannot be done. Like we see fasting as something that is so that is not something that is not easy to be done. When you cannot fast, you know that your spiritual life have issues. When you cannot control what you are eating, when you cannot control yourself, when you cannot tap yourself and say, hey, this body, you can't control me. Today I'm going into fasting. When you cannot tell yourself today, even if I'm perceiving all that smells, that aromas, no, I am fasting today. I am fasting this week. If you cannot remember how many times you fast in a week, in a month, honestly, your spiritual life is stagnant. If for the whole month you cannot remember how many times you fast, honestly, your spiritual life needs some help. So I want you to know that anytime that you are no more hunger to fast, your spiritual life, you are backsliding. You have to wake up. You don't need to allow your spiritual life to sleep. The last but not the least is the fellowship of the saints, the gathering of the saints. The Bible said in the book of Hebrews 10:25, do not neglect the gathering of the saints. I have had so many people, they said, I don't feel like to go to service today. I don't feel like to worship with my local church or with my small group. I just want to be on my own. I want to watch online. Yes, it is good, but do not neglect the gathering of the saints, because iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. And one thing with the devil is whenever he isolated you, he will now have that time and strategy to strike you down. Some people, if because of something that happened in their church, they don't want to fellowship again. They said how they treat me wasn't good, or how this person spoke to me, I didn't want to continue with that church. As a result of that, you don't want to continue fellowshipping with others. But many times you go to work, your boss will insult you, your boss will talk to you anyhow, and tomorrow you will still come to that work and greet that boss, because you know that your salary, your food, your rent, everything about you is in that work. So why can't we endure one another and still fellowshipping with one another? Why can't we endure one another and still coming together? So in this devotion, I want you to pay attention to these 4 signs. Whenever you see these 4 signs in your life, know that your spiritual life is stagnant, and pray that God will help you to revive your spiritual life, because the spirit control the physical, it control your finances, it control your emotional, it control everything. May I tell you that anytime your spiritual life is at alert, you see that those things that irritate you, that makes you to feel emotional, will not be there, because you are alert in your physical, in your spiritual life. The same thing as your finances, you will know what happens to the money you have, your finances. The same as your physical body, like your spiritual life is remote control that control everything that is happening in your body. So in this devotion, I want you to pay attention in your spiritual life. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Shalom. Remember to order our new book, Prayer Works. Indeed, prayer works. Thank you.